So after seeing phonetics, let us now step into the Sanskrit language, which the Panini created through his Ashtadhyayi. So the ultimate building block of any language is the word. What is a language? It's an assemblage of words. The words are combined in several ways to communicate ideas and transact knowledge. Therefore, understanding the mechanics of word formation and generation is at the core of language mastery. You will agree with me on that? And Sanskrit grammar addresses this aspect in a very unique way. That's what we need to understand. We will take an example to understand this part of it, an illustrative example, and then we will deduce what is happening there. So let us take a verbal root, kr. Actually, if you look at Panini, it will not be kr, it will be dukrunj. Panini attaches something at the front, something at the back, because for his mathematical transformation, he needs some indicators. So if you look at his Dhatupada, it will say dukrunj. So you will be, if you look for kr, you will not find it. I have removed the du and the inj, and then I have taken only the kr part of it, because that is the substantive part of the verb. So kr. Kr means something to do with doing. Karma, we say karma, na? So all that come from kr. Now look at some words that comes out of it. Karoti. Karoti means does in Sanskrit. Present, simple present tense is karoti. You have kurvan. Kurvan means continuous, doing. If you want to say kurvan. Karta. Karta means doer. That's the meaning in Sanskrit. Karta. Kritva. Kritva means having done. If you have to say having done, then you have to say kritva. Karotu. Karotu means please do. With respect we say, na, please do. So that is karotu. Kartavyam. Kartavyam means it must be done. It has to be done. If you want to say, that is called kartavyam. Then kartum. Kartum means to do. I want to do something. If you have to say like that, kartum is how the kr has to be transformed into kartum. Then you have kritam. Kritam means past tense, done. Something which was done, if you have to say kritam. Now what we will do, you see two more verbs there. Pat in the meaning of reading and gam gach related to going. So let us see how the equivalent words are there for these two roots also. For example, like karoti it will be patati and gachati. Like kurvan it will be patan and gachan. Like karta it will be patita and ganta. Like kritva it will be patitva and gatva. Like karotu it will be patatu and gachatu. Like kartavyam it will be patitavyam and gantavyam. Like kartum it will be patitum and gantum. And like kritam it will be patitam and gatam. So you see enormous similarity here. It looks as though if you know what is to be done for a verb, you can do to 2200 verbs also. Same thing. That is the sense we are getting here when you look at this example. So essentially what it means is there is a logic of creating a pattern of words. There is a word pattern formation logic which seems to work, which seems to be at the core of Sanskrit language. So let us try to lay our hands on it. What you see here, the kr, pat and gach which I used just now. So you see here, that is called a base. In Sanskrit, if you have to make a word, you have to start with the base, some substratum. So in this case, this is the base. Then what you do is you add tu. Suppose you added tu. If you added tu, which is called a suffix. Now what happens when you do that? It's a very simplified version, but you get a word. So when you added kr and then add tu to it, do some transformation, you actually get karotu. That's how the karotu came. Now there are some transformations, some rules will apply, but the same way, if you take gach, add a tu to it, and then you get gachatu with some transformation and so on. So every word in Sanskrit, the basic building block is you start with a base, then add a suffix to it, and then get a word. But in the process of getting the word, some more rules will be triggered. But that is how the word generation logic seems to sort of work in Sanskrit language. Now we will see what are all the possibilities exist in Sanskrit language to make a very rich combination generation of words. So one can start with a verbal root as shown here, and one can add some suffixes. As I told you, you can start with the base and add a suffix. So you can add a suffix and you will get a verb form, and add some more suffixes and finally get a word. This is one route to go. This is one way to actually reach. Then the second possibility is you start from a noun root, just like a verb root, you start from a noun root, add some suffixes. Some suffixes can give you masculine, some suffixes can give you feminine also. So it all depends on what you add. All those suffixes are available. So you add some suffix and get a noun form. So this is the basic mechanism, but one can do few more things. For example, one can add some suffix on a verb and convert it into a noun. From do you can get a doer. Doer is a noun. Do is a verb. So there is some suffix you add and then get a noun out of a verb. That is also possible. Or you can take a noun form, add some suffix and then get it to a verb. That's also possible. We can do that also. This is another way to go about. So, there is a whole combination of things that can work out. We'll take an example. Let's say we take a nominal root called Ram. What you see here would be, this consists of a set of 7 into 3, 21. 21 such suffixes are available, and if you make use of them, you will actually get 21 different word forms. So Ram, if you take and add Su, you will get Ramah. Or you take Ram and add this Aus, you will get Ramayoho. There are rules which will do it. So that's what I mean by saying this. So you can take a nominal root, add any of the suffixes and get a valid noun form. Some rules will kick in between to combine them and things of that kind. The other possibility is, as I told you, let us take a verbal root called Pat, okay? And there are some suffixes available here. Tip is there. So such kind of suffixes, you have what is called vas and mas, like that. There are 9 of them. Here you see 3 into 3, 9 of them are there. Okay. So if you add these to them, you get valid verb forms now. As you see here, suppose I take Pat and add Tip to it, you will get Patati. There are rules which will get you there. Or you take Pat, add let us say Mip, you will get Patami, and so on. So this is how I am giving you a very simple example here. The point you have to understand is you can take a nominal root, add a set of suffixes and end up with valid nouns, or take a verbal root, add a set of suffixes and end up with a verb form and so on. Now the 7 into 3 are 7 cases, and singular, dual and plural. This is the number. Similarly, this 3 into 3 is first person, second person, third person, and singular, dual and plural. That's how you get this 3 into 3, 9 here. So that's how this is done. This is a simple representation for you to understand. This is the basic structure of the Sanskrit language itself. So this is how the word generation is very algorithmic, as you see here. You have to take something, add something on the top of it, apply some rules, keep on deriving and then end up with the final word. This rule based mechanism we will see again how you have to do it when we talk about the computational elements of Ashtadhyayi. At that time we will see it again.